and welcome back to another horror movie review. So, I say this for Saturday. I don't know if you guys remember waking up to like Saturday mornings and being like, yeah, cartoons. So I figured, you know what, may as well wake you guys up with some horror reviews that you guys can watch over the weekend. Especially just because this week has been so freaking busy with getting some mask molding done. You guys can check out those videos. They're hiding in my lives. So, first things first, we are talking about the new horror movie called Oddity. So I heard so much about this film. So many people were reviewing it. So many people were talking about it. And I was like, I have to see this movie. So finally got a chance to watch it. It was really a treat, I have to say. Now, everyone's talking, what's the scariest movie of 2024? Or the greatest, you know? This is definitely up there, okay? This is definitely one of the better ones, I think, that have come out this year. So you basically have this woman and her husband, and they buy this beautiful freaking, it looks like a castle, okay? This old stone home. She's basically in there, sends him a message and calls him, and is kind of like camping out in her house, I guess, while they have renovations. All of a sudden, she gets this bang at the door. She goes to see, and there's this guy who's like frantically looking at her, and he's like she kind of like opens like this old school peephole, and he's like, while you were out to your car, I saw somebody run into your house. And she's like, there's no way. Like, she lives in the middle of nowhere, right? And she's alone, so obviously she's a bit scared. Also, who the hell is this crazy looking guy, right? And she's like, there's no way. And she's basically like, look, like, you gotta leave. Like, you're kind of terrorizing me at this point. My husband's gonna be home soon. He's like, no, he isn't. He finishes his shift at X time, whatever. Turns out her husband is a doctor at a mental institution. So this already had me hooked, because I love mental institution / like hospital type stuff, like within horror. I really love those kind of subjects being touched. Anyways, so she's kind of like second guessing at this point. Like, okay, maybe this guy is trying to help me. Maybe he's not. We don't know. Fast forward, you find out it's today's date. This woman has passed, okay? She got murdered. She has a twin sister that works at an Oddity store selling antiques and haunted, spooky things. Now, the husband comes in and, he's kind of like, oh, like her anniversary's coming up. Like, I just want to check in on you. How have you been doing? And she's kind of like, been okay. And he ends up handing her the eyeball of the guy who he said killed his wife, the crazy man that shows up at the door, okay? I'm not doing spoilers on this, okay? So basically, she is psychic to the point that she could touch something and see what that person saw. So from getting this eye, she sees a lot of shit that she wished she didn't. So this movie is all about this sister getting revenge, okay? And what's really neat is this movie taps into a bit of the psychological aspect of things. It really has a great character build-up. I think the strongest characters was probably this sister, right? She's blind, right? Not sure if that means anything. I mean, when you watch it, you'll see. But it really brings like a nice kind of like twist with everything. And the doctor's new girlfriend, oh my God. What a sea bag. Like, she's so rude. So rude. Basically, the sister shows up, the blind sister, and she's like, look, I want to stay at the house tonight. It's the anniversary of her death. It would just make me feel good. And, like, this girl's like, I'm trying to go into the city. Like, I don't know you. Like, super rude the whole time. And the blind girl gets her back with so many little, like, rude remarks. Anyways, I love the dynamic between the two. I thought it was very unapologetically real, if that makes sense. It was really good back and forth between them. And you can tell, like, the hostility, also just, like, the coldness. Anyways, this movie, again, is all about revenge. And how does she get revenge? Well, we're not quite sure. But she does show up to the house with this big old spooky trunk. And in that big old spooky trunk is a terrifying wooden dummy. And it's this thing whose mouth is just like, it's like permanently terrifying, like scary face. And it just starts from there. And this woman's like, did you take that doll out? And she's like, no. And obviously, like, they don't go into too much background on this doll, but she kind of brings up, this was an old wedding gift to my mother. I wanted to give it to you because this is, her house. This is where her house was, aka the daughter. Anyways, this movie is extremely haunting, okay? Like, I do think there are a lot of good scary parts. And what's wonderful about it, they show you. You know what I mean? It's not like one of these, like, CGI type things. They show you when things are moving. They also pan into, like, a lot of dark corners, a lot of dark hallways. Also, what's really nice about the movie, you ever watch a movie and you're like, I know this is an awful analogy, but, like, you watch The Lion King, okay? And we think of the colors blue and orange, right? Like, it's just, thematically, that's what you see. That's, like, the feel you get. So this is one of those movies where the colors are very, like, gray and, like, orangey yellow. Yeah, if that makes sense. And, like, it feels really nice. Like, my eyes, it was like an eyeball-gasm. Super well filmed. And again, there's just so much quietness in this movie that it pulls you in. So I highly suggest go watch Oddity. Let me know your thoughts on it, because honestly, I thought it was a very good film. It was spooky. It also had that wonderful revenge side to it. It also had a bit of brutality in there. Yeah. Check it out. Okay. Last but not least, you guys have been giving me recommendations. So today I wanted to smash it into one movie, which is this. And that is Rogue Toad actually said, go ahead and watch the movie Terrorvision. Holy crap, my dudes. If you guys have not seen Terrorvision yet, you have to. This is pure 80s cheese a la Max. I don't know how to say it any other way. You basically have this kid who's hanging out with his grandpa on his couch. They lives in this lavishly beautiful home, and it kind of looks like one of these, like, swingers sex pods, if that makes sense. Like, his parents are, like, super, like, out there and obviously wild, and there's just, like, you can see, like, the pictures on the walls. Everything's super sexy. Anyways, he's sitting there with his grandpa. They're watching their new satellite TV, and shit starts to go wrong, right? It kind of busts, and what happens? An alien comes in. Oh my god, this alien is ridiculous. It is a shapeshifter sort of thing, but not. It basically eats people and, like, makes it part of it, and it's like this big slime ball. It is the coolest little horror movie I've seen in a while. Also, I just love the characters. They're just so fun in that sense, like, where it's, like, pure 80s, right? You got, like, the mom who's just over the top and, like, trying to, again, get, like, a swinging couple going with them. You have the dad who's just like, nah, I sell things, and he's just ridiculous, super rich, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the kid who's, like, your classic, like, hanging out with grandpa, because he's the cool one. And, like, of course has, like, like, they have, like, a bunker in there that they keep the grandpa in. Like, he's got guns and shit. And the daughter is super, like, I'm from the 80s and super hardcore, and, like, she gets this boyfriend who's, like, he's such a jock babe, but, like, they threw him into, like, 80s hair metal clothes, and you're just like, this is amazing. Anyways, you gotta see Terrorvision if you haven't already. Again, huge thanks to Rogue Toad for shouting this one out. Also, it was his birthday week, so happy birthday, Rogue Toad. Thank you so much again, guys, for watching, for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, get on that. Throw your notifications on so that you can also join when I do live streams on here when I'm painting up my masks. You guys have a wicked week, and we will see you soon.